boys will not survive the final season of the show. Because after the season 4 finale, they're no longer just beefing with Homelander and the rest of the 7. Because now Homelander has an army of the most powerful superheroes in the country all at his disposal. So not only do they have to deal with the Homelander who now has the freedom to do literally whatever he wants, they now have Soldier Boy, the one person strong enough to end Homelander, working alongside him. The boys also have to deal with the threat of being considered national criminals now, and no longer have a connection to the CIA because Ryan just had to push Grace. Speaking of that, Ryan is pretty much Brightburn now. I mean, even if he doesn't work alongside Homelander, he's definitely not going to side with the boys. And possibly worst of all, they have to go against Sister Sage, the literal smartest person on the planet. And according to her conversation with Homelander at the end of the season 4 finale, this was just the beginning of her plan. As if that all wasn't impossible to deal with on its own, they also have the threat of Butcher, whose body has been taken over by the evil Joe Kessler personality, and also managed to steal a virus from Frenchie that can cause the extinction of every suit. Plus, on top of being evil, now Butcher has a power set that made him so OP that he could rip apart Victoria Newman like she was butter. And the fact that he's no longer seeing that vision of Becca, in my opinion, means that he's listened to the devil on his shoulder. And now he's not even concerned with saving Ryan anymore. It's really that far gone for him. But will Butcher actually end up turning on his fellow teammates? Slight spoilers for the comics moving forward, even though they kinda suck anyway. But Butcher pretty much does end up going commando in the comics and tries to unalive everybody in the world almost on his own. And it actually does look like they're setting up the same storyline with the soup-ending virus and everything. But Joe Kessler and this tumor thing is something that is entirely unique to the television series. So while I feel like the comic ending is definitely something that it appears they're still trying to set up, I'm still not exactly sure how they're gonna go about it, because right now it seems like every evil action done by Butcher is actually being done by Joe Kessler. And Joe Kessler does describe himself to be a part of Butcher, or really just the dark desires that manifest inside of Butcher's subconscious mind. But it does really seem that at least some part of Butcher still really cares about the lives of his friends, because he does not use his new powers on any members of the board, even though if he really wanted to, he could have one-shot all of them the same way he did Victoria Newman. However, if Butcher has really reached such a low point that he doesn't care anymore about the safety of Ryan, then I highly doubt that season 5 Butcher will care all about the status of the boys either. We also had the fact that every one of the boys is currently facing immediate danger, since Mother's Milk, Huey, Frenchie, and Kimiko all were kidnapped during the end of the season finale. I honestly have zero idea how they can get out of that situation, because I don't even know where they could be taken. I know some people are theorizing it is going to be the same place that Marie from Gen V is being held, and that's most likely what's going to happen, so we can get that endgame style team up between both shows, which pretty much proves that The Boys has become the MCU, even though it was supposed to be a parody of it. However, even if they did team up, I still don't see how that would be enough to take down every threat that they have facing them. But I do know that their fate depends on two different people, with the first being Soldier Boy, because whichever mood he's in when he wakes up out of that nap and he sees Homelander is going to decide who ends up winning this final war. With them both being the most powerful soups of their era, having them fight on the same team would definitely sign the opposing side's death warrants. But the one who's probably going to be the most lethal threat to the boys is definitely Sister Sage, because in the season 4 finale she proved that she is genuinely a bigger threat than Homelander. If you saw my last video on the topic, I correctly predicted that she would be the one to be planning everything behind the scenes. Her taking into account Homelander's character flaws allowed them all to take the presidential office. But the biggest threat to the boys may be what Sister Sage meant when she said that this was only the first phase of her plan. Unless we consider the very off chance that she's actually planning all of this in order to sabotage Homelander from the inside, even though that is a genuine possibility based upon the first conversation the two shared. If that's not what's going on here, then the boys are cooked. But the one thing I could actually see as an asset that might end up saving them is Homelander's hubris, because recently there's been a theory going around that Homelander doesn't unalive anyone that doesn't fear him. I can definitely see that if in total a-hole fashion, Homelander decides to keep all the boys alive just so they can see him take over and destroy everything that they love, trying to keep them in captivity, living in bad conditions so they can see all of it. And that decision might ultimately be what ends up costing Homelander his life. Ultimately, that's just my thoughts going into season 5 after the season 4 finale. Stakes are definitely getting pretty high, man. This is the final part of the show. It's getting crazy. Comment and let me know what you're thinking. Leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new here for more of The Boys content. Joining my channel memberships or leaving a super thanks would really help support the video. Thanks for watching. I love and appreciate you all. Sun God signing off.
I come in clutch like a genie.